Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harvard Seminary's Community Prayer. Community Prayer offers the seminary the opportunity to gather together for spiritual support. The format and focus of the service will change and take the shape of the tradition of the leader each week. Attendees who do not identify with a particular tradition are encouraged to attend and be participant observers as their comfort level allows. All are welcome as participants or guests. And today's session is special because it celebrates Dr. M.T. Winter and the 25th year of Women Leadership Institute at Harvard Seminary. Our speakers are Ms. Rosalind Brown, Ms. Katie Collins, and Ms. Roseanne Dicknall, who are Dr. Winter's student at this year's cohort at WLI. I will now give the time to them to start our community prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rosalind Brown, and I'm here to represent the Wisdom Group. The Wisdom Group is a part of the Women Leadership Institute. Women stands for a woman of wisdom. Leadership stands for a leading woman in love. Institute stands for a woman of innovation and imagination, which Dr. Winters has met all of these. The Wisdom Group was a part of the Women's Leadership Institute program. As a group, we want to honor Dr. Winters for not only a successful class, but for inspiring us to become more than who we are. As leaders, we learned how to see ourselves as unique and special spiritual women. I believe that God brings people into our lives for a season to help us see the better parts of ourselves. And at other times, to help us see the things that were not shown to us in the past. As we walked through this season with Dr. Winter, we were fortunate enough to be able to open our minds with new adventures, challenges that will lead us in a new path in life. I also believe that professors, instructors, and teachers play a vital role in every student's life. They are responsible for allowing us to remain stagnant without growth or taking that leap into a new and different world. Dr. Winters has helped me to take my leap into a new path. It is MT's book, The Singer and the Song, that there's a chapter that's called The Long Road to Freedom. She references a trip to Ghana. This book resonated with me because it's a story about her adventure, which took her more than a trip. MT learned about wisdom, compassion, and connection. What was a childhood dream on a journey she experienced that took her to overshop in Bangladesh and hearing the sad news of someone dying in the middle of the night. The very next day on this journey, she found herself in a place where she did not understand the language. She was stuck on a bus with no motor and was sick with malaria. Alone and scared, it took the compassion of a 10-year-old little girl to put her on the correct path. MT tells her readers so diligently how the series of events where she felt connected and in compassion for a little girl's hand who was a total stranger. I value those words. And what I learned was, as a whole, life is spent and en route to our final destination. But what's important is what happens on the way. Today, I hold the good memories of each season because I know they are the memories that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And the bad ones will not be forgotten because it's the bad ones that will continue to challenge me to be better. MT has left me with those good memories, and I will cherish them. I have now had the confidence to become the leader that she talked about in so many of our classes. However, it is my time at Hartford Seminary to come to an end. But I will take all these good memories and hold them in my heart as I move on in my new travels in life. At the end of this chapter, MT writes a poem, and she says, "It's a long road to freedom, a winding, steep, and high. But when you walk in love with the wind on your wing and cover the earth with the songs you sing, the miles fly by. I walked one morning by the sea and all the waves reached out to me. I took their tears and let them be. I walked one morning at dawn when bits of night still lingered on. I sought my star, but it was gone. I walked one morning with a friend and prayed the day would never end. The years have flown, so why pretend? I walked one morning marveling, and all my winters turned to spring, yet every moment held its sting. An unfolding awareness. Joy is like the rain was a favorite song when I was young. How delightful to finally know the songwriter. Thank you.
Christ asleep within my heart, with my wind yet still, joy is bright my soul. I saw raindrops on the river, joy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Collins, and I am delighted to be able to share in this celebration of MT Winter. She was a part of the person, Sherry Roberts, who I did my spiritual guidance training with, and she always talked so lovingly about MT. And so when this opportunity to do the Women's Leadership Institute came about, I was delighted to have to be in MT's presence. Little did I know what a blessing that would be, and how special it is to be in MT's presence. There's something when you are with her that she is imparting blessings on you, and the way that she speaks to you, the way that she speaks about other people, the way in which she speaks about God, and the way in which she speaks about the possibility of how we make change in this world. And the other piece is the beauty of her writing. And I am going to be sharing some excerpts from Paradoxology, Spirituality in a Quantum Universe. MT, I hope you appreciate this visual that's happening. And these are from pages 113 to 116. I invite all of you to hear this afresh and in your heart, and take it into your heart, these beautiful words from MT. We are always creating, whether or not we know it, adding extra to ordinary, whether or not it feels like anything extraordinary to us. We need to be more intentional if we hope to have an influence on what the world will be like tomorrow. If we want a just and peaceful world, we will have to create it. Create space that reflects the characteristics of a global village, where diversity and neighborliness and acceptance are the norm. Make room at your table and in your heart for a multitude of perspectives, so that those who arrive as stranger will be able to depart as friend. Create a climate where those you love and all whom you encounter are free to be themselves with you, free to stretch their wings and fly beyond the limitation they or others have imposed. Be generous with compassion and encouragement and support. Create opportunities that will eventually make a difference for an individual, for society, for our beloved planet. Don't second guess the value of the tiniest initiative at home, at church, in synagogue or mosque, in a support group, or in the workplace. Intend to make a difference through your presence, and you will. Intuition, imagination, inspiration, incarnation, insight, intention, inclusion. These are gifts we can call upon as eyewitnesses today. I witness to the Spirit of God by being faithful to the call of the Spirit, no matter what the cost. I witness to the Spirit of God when I live as God intended, open and responsive to the invitations of grace. I witness to the Spirit of God when I transcend traditional boundaries to bring to those outside the circle gifts of compassion and peace. I witness to the Spirit of God when I trust that which I cannot see, listen to what the heart hears, give voice to that which is given to me, and live my life accordingly. I witness to the Spirit of God when I embody the wisdom of God and am open to everyone. I witness to the Spirit of God by loving everyone. Thank you, MT, for those beautiful words. And now we will hear a song that is actually sung by her and written by her that I think encompasses our Women's Leadership Institute. Please hear it with open hearts.
Excuse me.
Women and earth have both given birth to deeds that escape our detection. But crucified reason awaited its season to own its truth to perfection. Down through the ages, mighty from my stages, His wisdom He will bring to light. With just retribution for each contribution, entombed in the home of the night. With just retribution for each contribution, entombed in the home of the night. Women in homes have written the poems that have captured the human condition. In public arenas, their service was seen as unworthy of due recognition. Their peace and compassion, always in fashion, were so embraced of the time. To women belong the substance of song, while others have written rhymes. To women belong the substance of song, while others have written rhymes. Women today have something to say from centuries of silently waiting. Be done with the scandals of incense and candles to idols of your own creating. Pieces of light, the carousels glory and gold. And women are weaving a web of believing that love is encompassing all. And women are weaving a web of believing that love is encompassing all. The feminine face of the god of disgrace is symbol for joy and elation. She suffered lashes and rose from the ashes, transforming all degradation. As mothers and daughters and moon and stars, women have gone on. But years they have tasted, the gifts they have wasted, their love will transpose into song. But years they have tasted, the gifts they have wasted, their love will transpose into song.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Roseanne Dagnalt, and before I start and share the passage that MT has written, I would just like to thank her for bestowing the special gifts of beauty and hope upon us all. Although it's most difficult to select one passage from MT's wondrous body of works, this passage of creation, of celebration, seems fitting for today. The passage is from Paradoxology, Spirituality in a Quantum Universe. Celebration. In the beginning, before and beyond, when and where, our own particular beginning began, infinity, eternity, energy, mystery, God. In the beginning, of our beginning, our universe, our planet Earth, spirit, spontaneity, serendipity, shalom, water, water everywhere, oceans, geysers, rivers, rain, giving birth, saturate earth, air, gust, wind, storm, breath of life, invisible form, howling, swirling, blowing away what cannot be captive anyway. Fire, synchronistic light, sun by day, moon at night, meet, merge, move apart. Every dawn, a new start for the seasons of the heart. Earth wakens wondrously, seed, plant, bush, tree, flower, and flaunt continuously with infinite diversity. A single cell, the right milieu, profusion of forms, old and new, emerging and evolving, fin, wing, hoof, claw, humanity, multiplicity, synchronicity, awe. In the beginning, our beginning, soul, whole, sacred, one, diversity, divinity, God. O insatiable mystery, I in you and you in me. Paradox, paradoxology. Thank you, MT.
We'd like to thank everyone just in the Hartford Seminary community to have an opportunity to be with us today. And we would like anybody who would like to share a few words about MT, that this is you can have the opportunity right now. And thank you.
So this first one is from another one of our classmates, and she wrote about MT that what struck her was her wisdom and her positivity. That she is out there, yet very down to earth. I enjoyed MT's open-mindedness and humor in thinking that while we may be emanating waves and particles of our own thoughts, hopes, and desires out into the universe, the people we disagree with are doing the same in a way that also influences us, as one tiny action can create unforeseen and unanticipated results. To me, this speaks to the interconnectivity and continuous co-creation of our shared existence that should not be ignored. Truly, we are all in this together, even when we are on opposite sides of many issues.
Hashtag divine serendipity. Every time I'm with you, I feel like I can become something or someone more, just a little bit more than I was before our encounter. And that's from the 2021 Women's History Month, A New Day Dawns webinar.
We have, again, we have an opportunity. We'd like to thank you, MT, for all that you have given to us during the 2021 semester year. We thank you, we love you, and you will hold a dear place in all of our lives.
I can share if this is open time, if I'm reading the invitation right.
Yes.
So my name is Jennifer Sanborn, and I participated in WLI in I think it was 2006, 2007. And it was a very serendipitous arrival for me at Hartford Seminary. And thank you, MT, for giving me language to understand that as serendipitous and synchronous and all of those good things. But I really want to lift up and celebrate that you modeled and continue to model for me bringing the whole of yourself to every venture. You are a musician, you are an intellectual, you are an activist, you are a sister, you have all of these elements to who you are. And when the world would insist that you kind of dissect those and take them apart and only show up with some of them, you refuse that and you show up as an integrated whole. And so I really celebrate that I have been fortunate to seek out places to plant my own gifts where I get to show up as an integrated whole. So may you continue to serve well and fully all the days of your life. I have no doubt that you will. Good to see you.
Thank you. And would anyone else like to share?
Hi, this is
I would like to
Linda
say,
Choser. Oh, go ahead.
I would just like to humbly say, MT, thank you for your teachings and your presence. You and your teachings are life-changing, life-transforming. They give life to us. Thank you so much.
This is Linda Choser. I'd just like to say that when I speak of MT to others who aren't familiar with who she is, I call her the Force. She is a force because her presence, this exudes love. I knew the first time I met her that we were kindred spirits, and I am happy to say that we have become she's my advisor, but I know that once I graduate, we will continue to be friends in connection with spirit. So thank you, and my blessings to you, MT. Much love. Thank you.
Anyone else like to share?
Just as a fellow, the newest comer of faculty member with MT, you have been to me visibility in places surrounded by light that could not see me. You saw me and you welcomed me. When nobody else saw me, you saw me. And in darkness, when my eyes are closed, you are that light that I can see my own self with inside. So I thank you for both those two gifts of being able to be visible. Thank you, MT.
Also, MT, we have several thank yous and acknowledgements in the chat. So if you would like to take the opportunity to read in the chat, you'll see some additional sharing.
Can I quickly say, MT, how much you have meant to me these past few years? If not for you, I would have never known about your prayer shawl initiatives. I've never participated in a drumming circle. And I have to say, when I go to, I went to a school before COVID, and I was invited to a service, and I opened the hymnal and I saw your name and I thought to myself, I know this person. It was just so cool. So just thank you for being you. And I really appreciate, being your friend.
We have time for one more who wants to share. And then I want to give time for MT as well, if she wants to say anything. I think that's fair. Oh, Jen, I think you are not muted, so you can speak now. Oh no, we cannot hear you. Yeah, unfortunately, but not muted. Feel free to chat to send your message to MT. for now, I think, MT, do you want to say anything,
So,
please?
well, I could actually say for the first time in a very long time, I'm speechless. I'm literally blown away. I did not expect this. So you can all say this wonderful class of 2021 WLI, gotcha. You outsmarted me. You caught me by surprise. You got to the depths so deep down in our relationships with one another in an impossible situation. You were exposed to a teacher who knew nothing about Zoom, who was trying to take a program that was constructed on presence, being really present, physically present, and in many ways with much more time together, put it online and made me practice, really believe in and practice what I preach. Quantum energy, divine energy, spirit energy cannot be stopped. And in some way, spirit energy took over and bonded this class in a way I could never, ever have imagined, designed for, anticipated. And not only you're graduating this in a few weeks' time, but the bond we share is forever. And the mission and the ministries, they are out there. And every little you've learned so deeply that every little positive thought, positive word, smile, moment of just hanging in there when you want to give up, that has positive energy beyond the moment's experience. And that can be shared. So just remember to keep directing it out. Say to the Spirit, send this to places most in need, because that's what Indigenous people do. That's what the Native Americans believe in their own understandings of the divine. So we have that too in the spirit that is within and around us all. Thank you so much. I'm going to hang around and be at this coffee hour if anyone's going to be coffee. And if someone could figure out how to get a cup through the airwaves, then we're going to really have sessions in the future that will be overflowing. God bless you all. Thank you. I am so deeply proud of every one of you, and I love you really and truly.
And we love you.
Thank you.
Me too.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much for MT, as well as to our leaders on this community prayer. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. And to end, I want to invite you again to join next week. We will have a special Harvard Seminary Preaching Award on this 4th Annual Preaching Festival. So join us to hear some awesome preachers. So come again next week. And if you can stay for Holy Grounds Coffee Hour, and we can chat with MT. This will be a wonderful time. And have a great the rest of the week for you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.